The biggest thing is just understanding what you're trying to build before you even go out to build it. What is your goal? What is the problem you're trying to solve? How are you trying to solve it? Who are your users? What features and goals do they have before you just go and start writing code? People are able to build projects in a weekend. However, they look good and they demo well, but they are very hard to maintain, number one, because there's no architectural structure to them. And as the project evolves, user requirements are going to change. And if you have a shaky foundation because you just went out and vibe coded it real quick in a weekend, it's going to be very hard in 5 months to add on to that. So refinery, really what you're laying out, what are my product requirements? What are my different high level objectives? So when you go make individual ticket items or you go make individual features, this is setting the foundation for each one of those. And when you use the agent in those, you're going to have the context of all of this information. Before we even wrote a line of code, we're defining what problem are we trying to solve? What are the requirements? And what is our tech stack that we're thinking of using? So for example, we have the 3-stage LLM Council feature. We have an MCP integration. So we use this in Cursor. And then we have a user story for a user who wants to upload files to LLM Council. So if we review all across all documents, we're looking for gaps, we're looking for edge cases I missed, and it also has all the context of my code base. And it's going to come back here and it's going to give me all of the edge cases and everything that I missed. And so it's essentially calling that out is what if you call a file on a council that doesn't have all models that can handle files? It's catching that before I even go out and build that. We're Software Factory and the agents are going to say, wait a minute, are you sure is this what you want? Did you think about this user story? What about this? And that's really what makes it powerful. Now that you've all these product requirements and you've laid out the business story, the personas, then you can go into the next stage, which is called Foundry. We're looking at the back end, for example. We're using Python. We have the MCP. Yeah. What technology, tech stack are we using? What is our CI/CD pipeline? What infrastructure are we using? We have some diagrams in here. So there is an agent here, the Foundry agent. It's going to look at your requirements and say, hey, wait a minute, you said you need an MCP server. And it will include that because it's reading the requirements you put in Refinery as context. So all the agents, whether it's Refinery, Foundry, Planner, Validator, all of these agents have access to your code base. And the Planner is the ticket system where you say...
It's Confluence a little bit, Jira.
Yeah.
It's all integrated with AI.
You can go to your agent and then you can say, hey, agent, look at my features I'm trying to build. Look at all my project requirements. Look at my user stories. Can you create some work orders for my developers to start working? And essentially a work order is a body of work with acceptance criteria that a developer will then go action in a Claude Code, Cursor. So you can see the blueprint that it's attached to. This is the 3-stage council that we were looking at earlier. What's considered in scope for this, like what's goal, and more importantly, what's out of scope. My workflow is I look at this work order and then I use Software Factories. I use their MCP connection. Then I can bring in the MCP into Cursor and say, hey, I've been assigned work order number 8. I can then go to my agent, whether it's Claude, Cursor, and say, hey, please look at my work order number 8, read the acceptance criteria. Because a lot of times in a project, especially a brownfield project that goes on for a while, the product requirements almost get forgotten because you're on week 7 or month 7 and you're working on features, but you actually forget why you're even working on the project in the first place, understanding who are the users, what was the goal of this project. And so within Software Factory, it never forgets because you have them written down in Refinery and you have your feature requirements in Foundry. It allows multiple LLMs to double check each other and it removes a lot of errors and bias from the models. It will give you a lot better answers. I mean, if you go to Cursor or you go to any individual site, they're just going to say, here's our model, pick your model. So this tool allows to have multiple models go out and you can have multiple providers. And you see in this example, it's going out and it's asking 8 different models here. Each one of these is going to go out and answer the prompt, right? So I just asked, what is spec-driven development? Chairman looks at the answers of everyone, sees all the rankings, and then makes the final decision. That's the output. Subjective. Think of you have a UI UX designer who wants to make sure that their UI is good or meets some standards within the team. This tool allows to have vague and subjective prompts be given good and coherent answers.